So a heart is one of the easier designs. It is a beginner design, but I'm very excited to show it to you guys multiple ways. So the approach to hearts is generally the same as you would with all latte art. It's kind of the foundation of everything that we're gonna do. Also, personally, I pour hearts during service because I don't have time to be pouring some complicated tulip, and everyone loves a heart. People swoon. So the process is gonna go like this. You're going to take your cup with espresso in it, freshly steamed milk. If you need to know how to steam milk, you can go to my milk steaming video up here. But you have your freshly steamed milk, you have your espresso in a cup, ideally tilted, because we have to get close to the surface of that coffee to leave behind a design. We've talked about this in all the videos so far. And to get close to that surface, we tilt the cup so that the pitcher can touch down on the surface easier. You keep your milk loose, you don't want it to stiffen up because foam rises. You take your cup, you swirl that a few times. We're gonna integrate. We're just gonna add a little bit of milk to raise the volume in the cup and make a more homogeneous mixture for our latte art to pour into. So we're integrating, and then all you're gonna do is you're going to land right in front of the center. If you were looking down from a bird's eye view with our grid, where the milk is coming out of the pitcher is going to sink underneath the espresso. There is a lot of current and it is causing a little hole in which the milk is going to fall into. And that place is where that little curve of the heart is gonna be. So we're putting the heart higher up in the cup so that the middle of the heart is actually the middle of the cup. That's why we're gonna go to that 1/4 mark above the middle of the cup. After integration, that is where we're gonna land. We're going to get as close to the surface of the coffee as you can and tilt the cup and the pitcher at the same time. The reason we tilt the cup is because if you didn't tilt the cup, the milk will start to spill out of the cup because we are adding more volume to the cup. As you're filling the cup, just make sure you are tilting with the pitcher. And at the very end, what's gonna happen is as you filled the cup, you're going to stop tilting the cup and you're going to lift up and away with your hand. And we go up and away because what we're doing is we are sinking that tail by using the height and gravity from the milk pouring into the cup. So like we do with integration, we pour really high up, that goes underneath the surface of the coffee. If we get really close, we leave behind a design on the coffee. So at this point, what we're doing is we're manipulating the design we've already had by sinking the tail and moving forward, which causes that pinching shape. The type of flow rate you should be pouring with should be about a Sharpie's width. Like if the flow coming out of the spout was the shape of a Sharpie, the diameter, that is good. That means you are pouring with enough force, but you're not going too heavy and you're not going too light, and you're able to get a nice flow of milk. To the kitchen.
Alrighty guys, so we're gonna be pausing this video every once in a while just so we can keep up with the video. So starting out, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to swirl our milk and make sure that it is loose and creamy. And we're also going to give our espresso 1 or 2 swirls just to break up that crema a little bit. And then we're going to integrate our milk into the coffee. We're going to pour from about 4 inches high up. So once you're done integrating, you're going to stop pouring completely. And you're going to keep that cup tilted exactly where it is. You're going to get close to the surface of the coffee and touch the spout's lip to the coffee as close as you can get. The closer you can get, the crisper the lines are going to look. And then you're just going to hold it there, and you're going to keep flowing with a flow rate of milk that is similar to between a pencil and a Sharpie's width. Once you've started your pour, you're just going to stay right there. And you're going to pour a little bit heavier as the cup fills up just to make sure that it's not stiffening up on you. Milk tends to do that as the foam rises throughout the pour. And whenever you're done with the pour and your cup is almost completely flat and parallel to the ground, you're going to lift your pitcher up and away. Your pitcher's going to go up and away in a diagonal line. And that diagonal line is very important. It's what's going to help us sink the tail of that heart. So during your cut, make sure you're going straight down your y-axis to get that very crisp point. And that's the heart, guys. So let's move on to a little bit more of an advanced heart. Moving on, we have a really fun one, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I didn't quite do the best version of it here, but I really do enjoy it. It's the classic ripple heart. It is essentially a heart. It's the same flow rate, but what we're going to do is we're going to rock the pitcher side to side without moving the pitcher's location. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to move the wave inside of the pitcher. I recommend you practice this by holding the pitcher with your palm before you ever pour this and rotating it side to side so that you can kind of see the wave happen in real time, and then switching back to your handle, assuming you have a handled pitcher. My favorite trick for this is trying to make the wave happen without moving the pitcher too much. If you're moving the pitcher widely side to side, that's a different style of pouring, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But if you want to make the ripples happen, you have to keep that pitcher pretty much still, but there's a ripple happening in it. It's kind of like sloshing around in a bathtub, if that helps you. So like all of our other pours, we're going to integrate into our cup, and then we're going to land directly on that 1/4 mark above the center. So once you've landed in the cup and you see a line of milk shooting away from your pitcher, that's your cue. That is the moment you want to initiate the rippling wave. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep your pitcher exactly in the same spot, but you're going to initiate a wave within the pitcher. So you're going to rock the pitcher side to side, but you're not going to move it too much on the x-axis. You're going to try to keep it pretty much still, but create a wave inside of the pitcher. Make sure to tilt your cup whenever you're rippling, or else you might spill. And then once your cup is pretty much flat to the ground, you're going to lift up and away. And that is our ripple heart. I like that one. That one's pretty cute. All right, guys, next up is going to be a really fun one. It is going to be the slow heart. This one's pretty easy, but it looks really beautiful and is the one that I personally pour on bar all day long. So just like the other pours we've done, we're going to land directly onto the surface of the coffee, but we're going to land in that 1/4 mark above the center. And we're going to let that milk flow straight out of the pitcher. So once you see that white line shoot out of the pitcher, that's when you can begin to move side to side with your pitcher. If you start moving up and down on the y-axis, you're going to misshape the heart and it's going to change the way the design looks. So stay on the x-axis and maintain your flow rate. If you maintain the flow rate, the milk will continue to move away from you and you're going to catch a lot of color inside your design as you move side to side. And the wider you're moving the pitcher, the more color you're going to pull into your design. And just like every design, once our cup is almost full, we're going to tilt and we are going to lift and cut away, sinking that little pinch at the very bottom of the heart. And that is a slow heart. I really like this one. I hope you guys enjoy it too. All right, guys, if you liked this, please consider subscribing, consider hitting that bell. It really, really helps me out. But that is it for me, guys. I will talk to you again next week, and we're going to talk about some fun stuff. It may not be latte art related, but don't get mad at me. I love you guys. Good night.